Hey everyone, Stephen and I wanted to say a giant thank you for 3,000 subscribers. That's pretty friggin' awesome that 3,000 of you like the content that we produce, primarily what Stephen produces, to hit that subscribe button. So yeah, really wanted to say a ginormous thank you to absolutely everyone, especially Stephen for all his years of dedication and work. Right, Stephen?
Yeah. Well, have to give me credit. I like to take most of the credit for this because a lot of the brilliant videos you've done were my ideas, and I'll rub it in your face every single time, and I'll just forget the failures that were also my fault because those never happened.
Exactly.
And I have to say that the 3,000 subscribers, I'm really glad. That's 3,000 more than I ever thought we'd get. And thanks to everyone, well, I'm one of those, actually, I'm probably one of the biggest fans of this account. I always bother you to do videos because I like watching you do that stuff, and it's pretty entertaining to me, so keep at it, man.
Well, I just want to say that I've actually met some really amazing people through this. I don't want to name names here because we'll be here forever, but some genuinely nice people have, come into my life because of this channel. We've had people donate us stuff. We've had people that have joined in Dragon Quest X recently, things like that. And it's been an amazing experience. So Stephen and I thought it would be a good idea, primarily Stephen, thought it would be a good idea to go back and look at sort of some of our best or favorite memories of videos that we've done throughout the years. So what we've done is basically our top 5 videos from, since we started here on YouTube. And I'm going to let Stephen name off his number 5.
All right, perfect. So this number 5 is actually going to be a video that I did, and it's going to be the only video that I did on this list, and it's my favorite one, the one I'm the most proud of that I've done so far for the channel. And that was back in the day when you used to send me games to review a few years ago. And that game is Batman Arkham Origins. And the reason that's my favorite video that I've done is actually I think it's the best review that I've ever done. I always like to complement my written review with a nice video review, and I always think that if you watch it and read, you'll get the whole story. And that video right there, I believe I did the best job possible. I like how I go into detail and I get personal with the franchise because I'm a big fan of Batman. But I also, at the same time, I don't say too much and I don't dwell too much on a particular subject, which is something I do sometimes. So Batman Arkham Origins is probably my best work yet, and I'm quite proud of it.
Well, that was a very good review. But my number 5 is a game. It's not, I don't know if I should say this is like the video that I'm the most proud of, but it's what the video represents to me that I'm the most proud of, and that is The Last of Us review for the PlayStation 3. And why is that significant? Well, if you go and you scroll through all our videos, which were, my goodness, we're coming up to like almost 1,000 videos, which is pretty damn insane. If you go and you scroll through everything, you'll see for The Last of Us that after that, or right around that time period, is when we really came back to YouTube in a massive way. We started doing tons and tons of videos all the way to, this one that you're watching right now. And it was funny because I was so nervous when I got the game early and Sony had all these things basically saying, we'll sue you if you show this or if you talk about that. And Steven was basically up my ass, I want the game. You can send it to me early. Come on, I want the game. And if you don't know Steven, he's special. He will get on your ass and he will not get off until you've done whatever it is he wants done. And so basically I used the demo footage for that review. And yeah, maybe as a video it was not the most entertaining or whatever, but again, it was mainly what it represented to me. It was this is us coming back. And in a lot of ways, I actually consider that our first video. Yeah, we had done, a lot of videos prior to that, but that was where really you could say that's where the channel began in essence, because from that point forward, that's where we made all our relationships. That's where the hardcore fans started to really come and join our craziness. And yeah, there you go. That's my number 5.
And yeah, for that video in particular, I think that's what we really grew as a channel, because that's when I really started bugging you, as you say, because usually when that's not the first game we got in advance. That used to happen a lot often. And what you would do with a game in advance is you would simply do a video review once the embargo would be done. And I thought that there was so much more potential to having these blockbuster games in advance, and there was a way to use it better advantage. And that's when I really got to your ass, because before you posted the review, you were actually doing 2 video vlogs a day for 5 days before, and also 2 different articles on the site, projectsui.com, which we used to write stuff a lot more in the past. And that really brought a lot of subscribers and a lot of people's attention to our channel, because they saw that we could produce unique content, and we actually had something that not everybody had, which was a really highly anticipated game in advance. And since that, we actually are doing a lot more videos now that are out of the usual COE standard that we had before. And again, I like to take a lot of the credit for that particular video. You did all the work, but I like to take myself as the brain behind the operation. And I do agree that it's one of our best videos, and that's what really I think that's probably one of the series that is the most responsible for us getting 3,000 subs and talking about this today. And
yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go on with your number 4 after your response.
No, damn it, you're doing number 4.
But what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say that no, you're absolutely right. And we went from, because we had in the early thousands when that review hit, and we jumped to 2,000 really quickly from that point. I mean, not night and day, obviously, but I did the 2,000 video less than a year ago. And so we got a bunch of subscribers really, really quickly. And now I'm shocked. I mean, every time I go on, there's, a couple more subscribers, couple more. And I'm thrilled. If this keeps going, this is pretty awesome. We're getting around 150 subscribers a month now. And if that keeps going, that's just amazing. It makes me feel great, because it's people are actually enjoying the content that we're producing, and that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
anyways,
for
go
sure.
on.
It's always nice to get rewarded for all your hard work, and this is just you have a full-time job, and you're just doing this as a hobby for fun on the side, and it's always a lot more fun when people are actually watching and commenting on your stuff, which is happening these days. And even though 3,000 subscribers is not the end of the world for us, it's really, really big, and we appreciate every last one of those subscribers.
Amen.
And for number 4, I'll go number 4, and then I think you can go number 4 and number 3, spice things up, I would say. And
okay,
my number 4 is actually a recent video we did, and I really enjoyed it. It's because of the story behind it, and it's Smash Brothers for 3DS Thoughts and Impressions. It's actually a video we did a few days after Smash Brothers for 3DS was released. And the reason I enjoyed it so much is that because before that, this is pretty much our first Smash Brothers game, and we spent almost an hour playing online match, one versus one, and the footage you're seeing is entirely those matches we had, and that was a lot of fun for me to watch and just listen to us, just basically as friends having fun playing a game. And that's something we don't do as much as we did back in the early 360 days, and I really missed that, and that was a blast for me, and that's why I enjoyed that video a lot.
Yeah, I really do miss those days. I actually just picked up the Master Chief Collection just because of that. I was like, I've got to convince Steven to at least go through the original Halo with me. But no, that was a good video. That was a fun video. For my number 4, it's a game that I'm proud of in a weird way, and it's because sort of like The Last of Us, it was another like first, and that was the Knight's Chance review I did for the Neo Geo MVS. Why that was so cool was we were actually the first people in the world to have a video on YouTube for Knight's Chance other than the developer himself. And, yeah, okay, I could say like, yeah, that's like bragging or whatever, but still, that was an amazing feeling to actually have, a game that no one else had and actually have like the review up, and I was really proud of that. I don't know, it came out good. I know it's just some people are like, oh, it's just a casino game, whatever, you're crazy. But I was really proud of that. I thought that went like, that it turned out really well, and the game was developed by like just a handful of people, and it turned out great. It's a really fun casino style game. And yeah, I was really, really proud of that review and the fact that, it was the first one in the whole world. And I know that for a fact because if you search YouTube, you'll see that. And yeah, so I was really, I was proud of that one.
Amazing. And what is your number 3 video?
My number 3 video is one of our most popular videos. And the reason why it's one of my favorite videos is not so much for the video, but for the comments on said video. And it's the video why the Sega Saturn failed and how it might have been saved, or how it could have been saved. I thought that was... It was just like I was sitting there, I was recording my voice. You can even hear it's on the old computer mic where you can hear the fan going in the background and everything. And that video has like a crazy number of views. And some of the information I mentioned is like factually wrong stuff. And it's hysterical because I never thought, I did my research. I'm not a professional at this or anything. And I just wanted to do a video, talk about one of my favorite like systems, one of the most underrated systems of all time. And yet it ended up like exploding and becoming this massive thing. It's well over, my goodness, I think it's well over 20,000 views now.
It's at 45Ks.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's the comments. The comments are hysterical because people will argue with each other. People are like, my God, the guy who did this video was smoking crack or something. Because
that would be pretty accurate, actually.
There you go. And so, yeah, no, that's the one of all the ones that have done like really, really well. That's one that I really like going back to almost not on a daily, but at least a weekly basis because of the comments. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I'm going to cheat a little here. My number 3 will actually be 3 different reviews that you've done. And this is basically, I've picked my 3 favorite reviews that you've done, and the first one I want to talk about is Disney Infinity. And
I knew you were going to put that somewhere.
I really, really enjoy that one because if you stay after the credits, as you'd say, there's this little, like, kind of little movie that you did with your characters, your figurines, and your Fidel PlayStation 3 controller and that Kratos thing, and even the cat, I think, makes an appearance in there. So it's really classic. It's the first time we see you goofing around, and was pretty entertaining. I really enjoyed that, and the sequel was pretty cool. But the original, in my mind, will always be the best version of the Disney Infinity series videos that you did. After that, I have your Zelda: A Link Between Worlds video review, and the reason for that one is, for some reason, I was really, really, really afraid you were not going to give that game a 10 out of 10. Why, I have no clue. I was really afraid you were not going to give it a 10 out of 10. And when I saw it, what you did, and the video was just fantastic. The review was fantastic. Everything about it was fantastic. And I had a blast viewing it, and like I said, for some reason, I was really afraid. And I think you remember, I was texting you even more than usual and bothering you, like, don't, like, be a cop-out or whatever. I don't know what I was saying, but it was hilarious. And yeah, and my number 1, I'm not sure if you're going to guess this. You might. Do you have any idea?
Not a clue, man.
It's
for reviews?
Video game I gifted you.
A video game you gifted me?
Yeah.
Tell me,
It's
what is it?
you played a franchise. That franchise recently reviewed it. Was
What the
published
hell
by
did you do?
Sega.
Published by Sega.
Yeah.
Oh, Alien, whatever it was?
Yeah, you're right. Aliens Infestation for the DS.
That's it.
I've always been telling everybody how great that game was, and I think it was your birthday or something. I that's what I sent to you, and to my to my surprise, I knew you were gonna like it, but I did not expect you to like it as much as you did. And in my opinion, that's your best work you've done yet in terms of reviews. And really, it's something I watch. I go back and watch often because I really like that review. I think it's pretty much your best work, and yeah, that's my favorite review you've done.
Well, there you go. Thank you. I'm honored. What's your number 2? Or that was your number 2,
That was
wasn't
my
it?
number 3.
Yeah,
But
that was your number 3. What's your number 2?
Number 2 is, I don't remember if you, I don't know if you remember, back when I was posting videos on my channel, you were posting videos pretty much on Project Sui, because before I used to post it on my channel, and every single morning you'd have a different vlog, and you'd talk about something, and more often than not, I would give you suggestions, and you'd run with them, but usually you'd put your own Jared spin on them. And this vlog in particular, I always found it extremely funny, and it's Nintendo Goes Bananas. Because for starters, I really liked that title. I never thought you would go with it, but you went with it, and you even did that BANANAS thing at the beginning. And for some reason, you were filming it in your bathroom. We could almost think that you were doing having a crap at the same time, so it was hilarious, and it was just one of those Nintendo rants that I always enjoy, that you always go lightly, because you're the type of guy who has trouble being mean, and that's fun. That's kind of your personality, and this one was just you goofing around and mentioning some problems Nintendo was having at the time, and it was just classic, and that's why it's my second best video.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you even did a sequel to that one.
Yes, I did, but you didn't like it as much.
Always prefer the original.
Yeah, you see? That's why you got to stop telling me to do sequels. Well, I'm going to cheat myself. My number 2 is something I'm very proud of, and it incorporates 6 reviews that we did very recently, actually, just a couple of weeks ago, was our Halloween special. I was so happy that it was one of those times where we've talked forever about doing, either a themed week or something, and, stuff always slips through the cracks. And so I was just so happy that we were able to actually knock that out of the park with Kudelka, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Deep Fear, and Clock Tower, and Resident Evil 1 being Deadly Silence on the DS. I was so happy with that. Oh, and Spirit Camera, almost forgot that one. And yeah, I was super, super proud of that. You actually did the stuff you said you were going to do, which usually you chicken out of.
Yeah,
and and no, it was just that was really, really awesome, and I really hope we get to do that again sometime.
Yeah, next year I'm probably going to do that next year, because we had a lot of success with that one, and yeah, my favorite video that we've done so far, well, that you've done pretty much so far, is of course our weekly site recap from July 21st to July 29th. That was one of the... No, just kidding. It's unfortunately you already mentioned that, but it's why the Sega Saturn failed and how it could have been saved. And frankly, because I did not know much about the Saturn at the time, and you were also posting various... you used to call them remembering or some dumb name like that.
Yeah.
And you were talking about lots of games, and that actually I got a Saturn not far after that, and I experienced some of those games, and I really, really enjoyed them. Unfortunately missed out of a lot of now super expensive Saturn titles. But yeah, that was a really nice history lesson. And as you said, some of the stuff was inaccurate, but it doesn't matter. It came from the heart, and you got some nice footage of old commercials in there, and just you talking about the Saturn was like something I really enjoyed and many people did, and yeah, that's why it's my number one favorite video.
Well, you will never guess what my number one favorite video is. It's a video you made.
If it's a
That's
video I made, it's probably the Wii U one.
No.
No?
Nope.
Well, I have no clue.
Let's see what Moose thinks. It's actually your Omega Late Christmas 2013 unboxing.
Really?
Really. That is of all the videos we've done, that remains my favorite video on the channel. Because
the one with the cameras that film.
That's
like
right.
A portrait, really?
That's right. Yep. I love that video. I have watched that video so much because it always cracks me up. Because I got you so good with that when I sent, for those that haven't seen the video, I sent him, whatever. It was a couple of games, and it was great. If you watch the video, he opens up the first one. What was the first gift?
The Cradle.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So it was a 3DS Cradle because he missed out on the promotion that was on Club Nintendo. I think they had like sold out by the time you went or whatever. And I had purchased with points the blue one, I think it was, or whatever. Anyway, so I sent that off to him, and I had told him that I was going to do this, and I had told him about Vector Man. And then he was talking about these. It wasn't Pokemon. It was like a Pokemon like rival or clone, wasn't it?
Yeah, Robo something.
Yeah, well, Robo something. There we go.
You used to call it Robo Penis. There
we go, Robo Penis. So I was going to send him that, okay? So he opens up the first thing, and he's like, oh, ooh, great, awesome. Then he opens up Vector Man, which he couldn't even pronounce. That was funny. And so right there I start chuckling. And he's like, oh, I have no idea what this is or anything, which was funny because it was a live reaction, not knowing that it's actually a Game Freak game. And that's why I wanted to send it to him, because it was one of the last games they made before moving on to Pokemon and, pretty much Nintendo exclusivity. And it was a reproduction cart in and of itself. It was never actually released in North America. It was only released on the Sega Channel, which was like almost think of it like an online service. It worked through your cable, and you had to be, I think it was like there was a special channel you had to go on, and anyway, whatever. That's a discussion for another video. But anyway, so by this point, Steven's like, oh, okay, I know what the last gift is going to be. It's going to be this Robo Penis game or whatever. And then as he's opening it, it's your face, man. It's awesome. Your reaction's like, what the hell is this? And you're slowly peeling it back, and you can see the white box. And what it was a reproduction cartridge of the fan translation of Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on the Super Famicom, but been reproduced for the Super Nintendo. And it's brilliant. His whole reaction, his whole everything, I thought that it still makes me laugh because it's hysterical. You're like dumbfounded. You're like, what the hell is this? I love that.
Yeah, funny fact. I actually, straight after I finished this video, I went to my mom's place, picked up my Super Nintendo, and completed that game in 2 days, like the original Dragon Warrior, because it was such a blast, and I was so happy with that game. Unfortunately, I never got the chance to finish the second one, even though I got far in it. But yeah, just too bad that we filmed it in portrait mode. But it was pretty because it was a live reaction, like you said, and it took me a while to figure out what was going on, because I was expecting those Robopon games, and that's what came out of it, and it was pretty much fun.
Yeah, that was it. So that was it. That's my top 5. That's your top 5. So if you've made it through to this, I think one last time we can both say, really, thank you so much to absolutely everybody who's subscribed, and to all the new subscribers that we get. It means the world to us. We love this. Like Steven said, this isn't our full-time jobs. We have full-time jobs. And so any interaction that we can have, and it's awesome. And if people like the content that we're producing, well, it's the incentive to keep on going, making more stuff. So thank you very much.